Did you know one of America's most notorious serial killers once worked at a suicide prevention hotline while secretly murdering women across multiple states? Theodore Robert Bundy was born in 1946 in Burlington, Vermont, under a veil of secrecy. Raised believing his grandparents were his parents and his mother was his sister, Bundy's early life was marked by confusion and emotional instability. He later studied psychology and law and was described by many as intelligent, articulate, and charming. But behind the charisma was a predator. Between 1974 and 1978, Bundy abducted, raped, and murdered at least 30 women across Washington, Oregon, Utah, Colorado, and Florida. His actual victim count may be far higher. He often approached women in public places, feigning injury or asking for help. Once they were close, he would knock them unconscious with a crowbar or pipe, then take them to secluded locations. Bundy's crimes were brutal. He raped his victims, often post-mortem, and sometimes returned to the bodies to perform further acts of necrophilia. He decapitated some, kept trophies like hair and clothing, and buried others in shallow graves. His victims were typically young, white, brunette women, many resembling a former girlfriend who had rejected him. Despite his growing list of victims, Bundy evaded capture for years. He was arrested in 1975 for possession of burglary tools and suspicious behavior, but escaped justice due to lack of evidence. In 1977, while awaiting trial in Colorado, Bundy escaped from jail by jumping out of a library window. He was recaptured, but escaped again just months later, this time by crawling through a hole in the ceiling of his cell. After his second escape, Bundy fled to Florida, where he committed his most savage attacks. In January 1978, he broke into the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University, bludgeoning and strangling 2 women to death and severely injuring 2 others. Weeks later, he abducted and murdered 12-year-old Kimberly Leach. Bundy was arrested in February 1978 after a routine traffic stop. His trial was one of the first to be nationally televised, and he chose to represent himself in court. Despite his theatrics and attempts to charm the jury, he was convicted of multiple murders and sentenced to death. While on death row, Bundy confessed to dozens of killings, often in chilling detail. He offered insights into his psychology, blaming pornography and emotional detachment for his crimes. He was executed in the electric chair on January 24, 1989, at Florida State Prison. Crowds outside the prison cheered as the news broke. Bundy's legacy remains a haunting study in manipulation, narcissism, and the terrifying power of charm.